There was a time when I was depressed about my height, and I was 16, so I thought, okay, I'll grow more, don't worry. After a few months, I measured my height again, and I was exactly the same height. I didn't even grow 1 millimeter. Then I was like, okay, I'll grow more, don't worry. Then after a few weeks, I measured my height again, and it was the same. And I started getting paranoid. Then I measured my height more frequently, like 3 times a day. Actually, I would measure my height 3 times a day. And months and months and months went by, and growing. I had completely stopped growing. I exactly remember it had been 8 months. I was 16 years and 8 months old. Then I started getting terrified. So I went onto the internet and I started searching for height growth methods. And I watched for hours and hours and hours of content every day. Just watching. And a few weeks went by and I didn't try anything. I was just watching, right? Time went by and my stress and anxiety and depression started kicking in. I was like, it's do or die for me now. Then I started hanging, skipping, and stretching. I did that for a few months and I did not even gain a single millimeters of height. Then I moved on to running, cycling, a bit more harder exercises. Fast forward, it had been 3 4 months of me trying everything that I could to increase my height, and the scale didn't even move 1 millimeter. I had watched everything on the internet. There wasn't anything that was left on the internet. There was a time when I was just repeating myself. I would watch a new video, then 1 minute into the video, I would remember, oh, okay, I've already watched this video. I would read an article, and after a few lines, I'd be like, oh, I've already read this. And I also tried everything: running, skipping, cycling, hanging, swimming, jumping, stretching, yoga, even those bullshit height growth meditation where you just stare at a dot for like 10 15 minutes. You're literally crying and you're just staring at the dot. I basically did everything. Nothing worked until something actually did. I found a video of a doctor and he was suggesting sprinting for human growth hormone. Human growth hormone is basically the hormone, the main hormone, the primary hormone that increases our height. And the doctor suggested that it is scientifically proved in researches that if you sprint, your human growth hormone goes up to like 771%. And the moment I heard the word scientifically proven, I just laced my shoes and then started sprinting. I sprinted for 2 months. I did not see any growth. It was this much growth, almost half centimeter, like this much. And I was depressed, obviously. But the thing is, among all of the exercise that I had tried earlier, sprinting was the only thing that increased my height this much. And I didn't even think that my height had already increased. I was like, maybe I'm standing a bit straighter or my posture had improved. I don't know. But there was hope. So I continued sprinting. And to my surprise, I started growing. Like consistently each month I would grow this much. First month this, second month this, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So I continued sprinting for like a year and I increased this much height, like almost 1.5 inch. Then I had my exams, so I stopped sprinting for like 3 4 months. And in that period of time, I did not grow even a single millimeter. My height like stopped again. Then exams ended and I started sprinting again. And surprisingly, I started growing again. I was 18 at that time. Then I got sick. I had jaundice, and my doctor suggested me that do any physical exercises for a few good months. At first, it was like 3 or 4 months that I can do. I didn't do any physical exercise. I didn't sprint for 6 months. And in that period of time, I did not even grow a single millimeter again. So I was sprinting, I was growing, then I had exams, so I stopped and I stopped growing, then I started sprinting again, then I started growing again, then I stopped because of jaundice, and then I stopped growing again. Then I recovered from jaundice, I started sprinting again, then I started growing again, right? I was sprinting, I was growing. Then I got injured. I had shin pain, and ever since I got shin pain, I couldn't sprint anymore. So I almost increased 3 inches of height before I got injured, and I couldn't sprint anymore. If I had continued sprinting, I would be much taller. In my whole heart, I believe this. If I had continued sprinting, I would be much taller than. So yeah, that's my story. I had bad genetics. My height had stopped completely and I did everything. I couldn't grow. Then I started sprinting and I did a lot of things alongside sprinting. Basically the main activator, like the main hero, the main character, the main exercise was sprinting. If you're interested to know what I did, what I ate, and basically everything that I did to gain 3 inches after I had supposedly reached my genetic potential after I had stopped growing. So yeah, you can tell me. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this video, but someday people will. I make videos in Hindi as well, and I've got a lot of followers whose I had stopped for years, and then they started sprinting, then they started doing everything that I told them to do, and they started growing again. So yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now I'm going. Bye.